Hello YouTube, hello dirt bike enthusiasts. Finally, it's time. Time for two things actually. My first video in English and my review of my trusty GASGAS EC300 TPI from 2023 after a small number of 135 hours. So if you want a short version, well, I love the bike. I like it, and here you go. Not much to add. But if you want a long one, stay tuned because I'm gonna talk about everything. I think we should start from the modifications I did to the bike and then move on to what I think about the bike as a whole. So let's start from the front of the bike. As you can see, I have Oglin's cartridges inside, and yeah, they are good. I like them. At the moment, at the back, I have the original shock absorber, but it's only temporarily. Long story. Anyway, it's gonna be back shortly. Also, as you can see, I have a rental handlebar. I changed it because I wanted to try something a bit higher. Also, if you can see, I don't know if you can, I'm too lazy to take off this protection, but there is a KTM Power Parts PDS, I think it's called, the system where you have some rubber mounts for your handlebars, which makes them feel a bit softer when you're riding around through the bumps, through small stuff, and it works. It really works. Also, I do have some protection installed. Though there is no protections in the front, I have the side protections on the radiator. They come from the company called H.E.C, which is the same company making this protection. And the full kit came also with the fan. So yeah, it's a must if you're doing hard enduro stuff. Regarding the protection, this is my first dirt bike. And before, I did not have a lot of off-road experience, so I needed something really sturdy, and it did the job awesomely. So yeah, it's a good protector for artefon.com. Also in the bag, as you can probably see, I have a tubeless system. This is the best if you want maximum traction. If you're really struggling, you can always go down to zero pressure and get up almost anything. It helped me a couple of times in Romania. At the front, I'm currently running a tube, but on my other wheel I had a moose, which was around 1 bar maybe. Nothing special, but for a front, for hard enduro, I don't think I need much different. From the things that I did to my bike, I can mention this stop button, which I changed from the stock one because the stock one broke. Yeah, it was pretty shitty quality and also pretty bulky. One more update I did is foot pegs, and these are S3 Punk foot pegs, which are low and back. I think they are low by 6 millimeters and back by 12. They really make a difference, even if it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a difference for sure. I think I mentioned all the updates I did to the bike, so now we can continue to talk about what I love about this dirt bike. And to be honest, I think there won't be many things to point out because I like the whole bike. It's really hard to like separate some things out of it, but I will try. So the first thing which comes to mind is clutch. This is a Brake clutch, not a Brembo one which comes on the KTMs, but this Brake clutch is very light. It is not the lightest, like Beta still has a lighter clutch feel, but anyway, I like it. I can go all day and my hand does not get tired, and I'm only using one finger to modulate the clutch. So yeah, this is a very nice clutch. What I also like about the bike is, of course, the engine. 300 TPI. I heard a lot of things about TPI bikes, like they foul plugs, oil pumps fail, whatever. To be honest, I had zero issues with my bike. You see, my bike is 2023. It's the last year of TPI bikes, which means I think all the errors were fixed finally, and here we have like the most perfect TPI you can have from the factory. So yeah, I never fouled a plug in 135 hours. It always starts, it rides good. I never had issues with any sensors like crank pressure sensor. It just works really good. My warm-up procedure is simple: just start it, leave it to warm up on its own, and when it gets warm to the touch, the radiators, I just go in and give it some throttles to clean out. You can actually hear from the engine noise when it cleans out.
You see? Not very well. And now it's getting clean. So now it sounds clean, and this is when I am ready to sit on the bike and ride.
Also, I love the power. Even though it's not perfect, I tried some car bikes and I feel like they have a better low-end torque, but overall, I love this bike. What I changed a bit is I screwed out this power valve nut, so I think I made it a little bit less peaky, the power, so it doesn't hit so much and it has a bit more power in the low end. I think the difference is not very big. Also, what I did, especially for Romania, is I changed the gearing a lot. Originally, this GASGAS comes with 14 and 50. Here it's 12 and 52. It's really extreme, and basically in my own country, in Lithuania, I almost never use the first gear, except when I'm practicing slow wheelies or in like very technical stuff, which we don't have too much. Here's the thing, that's about pretty much it what I can say which I like about the bike and to point it out. So yeah, let's go and talk about what I don't like. As I mentioned, I already changed the stock shocks in the back and in the front. They suck. They really suck. I mean, if you are doing just single track riding in the woods, slow speed, hard enduro, then probably they are all right. But if you want to do some faster stuff, you want to go into the sand, man, those shocks are really bad. I mean, when changing these shocks, I had one event. One weekend I had the stock shocks, and in the same location I had the second event next weekend. During the week I changed the cartridges, and man, it was completely different bike in the sand. I mean, I couldn't even believe how much better and easier the bike handled in the sand. So yeah, the front forks is really very important. As I mentioned, I don't have the back shock installed, so now I'm riding with the original shock and the front cartridges, Öhlins cartridges, and I would say that the back shock absorber is not so critical for the feel of the bike and for the control. Now, I also believe that it really depends on the skill. For a very skilled rider who can, go into the sand with full confidence and give full throttle, the shocks are not a problem. He's gonna drive around the limitations of the original forks. But for me, for a beginner, the difference is massive. So yeah, if you are serious about riding your bike and feeling good on it, consider changing the stock shocks. What else I don't like? Well, it's brake tech brakes. In the beginning, I enjoyed the feel of the brake tech front brake because it is not so sensitive to the pressure, which means you can be not so careful with it and it won't give a lot of force to the brakes in the front. So it felt safer for me as a beginner. But now I feel that when I'm more confident, I have more control of my front brake. It's a bit disappointing. It's a bit soft, and I would like to change it to the Brembo system. Another thing which I don't like is also brake tech, and it's in the back. Now, as you can probably see, it's not a brake tech caliper anymore. This is a Brembo caliper. And why, you ask me? That's because the original brake tech caliper broke. Yes, around, I don't know, 10 hours ago, I was training here somewhere and I was moving back from the hill. I pressed the back brake and I heard a pop. Turns out it just broke off. To be honest, it's a known issue, and that's exactly the way the brake tech rear caliper brakes. So yeah, not very good. Although I have to say I liked the feeling of the back brake from brake tech. The only problem is that it's not very well suited for hard enduro because it only brakes when you're going back down the hill. Regarding changing it to the Brembo, I will make short video explaining what suits you and what does not. So please press the subscribe button if you don't want to miss that. As I mentioned, I did not have any problems with the bike, except of course of what I broke myself. And well, I did not broke a lot. What I broke is of course the headlight. It happened in Romania and you can see how now. Whoa! At the same day and event, I broke the front fender. Also, I broke the front fender again in the Mad Madonna competition in Latvia. Also, I broke this plastic. This happened to me actually maybe in a first couple of hours just after buying a bike. I was going downhill and somehow between two trees, two small, very small trees, I managed to hook the front part up and break the plastic off. Also, I completely destroyed the back of the bike. Also in the beginning, after I bought it, I was training wheelies, so of course I over-rotated the bike a couple of times. So this part broke. Also, this whole plastic broke and it's not fixed to the bottom of the fixing positions very well. As you can see, also this this plastic is pretty much done. It got a lot of abuse. Nothing really major broke apart from these plastics. One thing which I noticed is that this original frame protector is pretty thin, and I really chewed through it, especially here by the master cylinder of the rear brake. As you can see, it's pretty worn down, so I have to maybe change it to something a bit more sturdy. Also, I bent a little bit the original handlebars. After 135 hours, I feel that the packing in the muffler is already gone. The sound is different of the bike, and I'm planning to change that. So if you are interested in how it's gonna be done and what the difference will there be, stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. I am still on the original top end because I'm not riding very fast. Most of my riding is in low RPM. So I'm thinking of taking the top end to about 150, 160 hours and then changing it. Also, I have some plans to update the bike and to make it even a better hard enduro weapon. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Stay tuned to find what I'm gonna do with the bike next. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. From the updates, as you can see, I changed the cover of the seats. And man, this is incredible. I mean, it's even too good of a grippy seat. I am practicing something which Rich Larson is teaching, is about holding the front wheel high in the air and just trying to ride it like that while walking yourself on the ground. And sometimes I stick so good to the seat that I can't fall down and reach the ground. So yeah, if you want a really grippy seat, I can only recommend, and I did not get any discount from them to tell you that. This is not a promotion, this is really just an honest opinion. It's amazing. It's Cell silicone grip cover. Yeah. So guys, I think this is it. That's all I have to say about my GASGAS EC300 TPI. It's a good bike. I love it. I have very little what I can tell which I don't like, and the things which I didn't like I already changed about the bike, except the front brake. Otherwise, I really enjoy this bike, and because it's such a nice time, I think I'm gonna give this bike a refresh. So again, if you want to see how this bike looks after refresh, be sure to press that subscribe button. And of course, if you liked the video, press like. Thanks for watching and see you next time.